answered, viewers? For most of us, the answer is no. Jinnah tried and succeeded pre-1947 because of foreign dispensation. The British government, the British regime allowed him to do it. But this is independent India, and no patriotic Indian will ever allow partition again. But friends, the India bloc that claims it is committed to India's territorial integrity is giving a wide berth, I'm afraid to say, to the Jinnah mindset in Maharashtra and Jharkhand. A group called the All India Ulema Council has listed a set of demands in exchange for their support to the India alliance. Even though they are separated by nearly a century, there is a disturbing conflation or similarity between the 14 demands made by the All India Ulema Council in Maharashtra and Jinnah's 14-point proclamation of 1929. Viewers, endorsement of these demands by the MVA will enable the machinations of a two-nation mindset, the same mindset that led to the partition of India, to a fault line so deep that psychologically it remains imprinted, viewers, across the length and breadth of this country. Now let me put out the facts there. This is what the Ulema is demanding, and this is how the Ulema's agenda almost reflects word for word Jinnah's 1929 agenda. The Ulema seeks 10% reservation for Muslims in Maharashtra. Now viewers, this would be above and beyond the reservations that are ordinarily granted and are legal under the Constitution with a cap of 50%. So they want the reservation cap to be increased. Now obviously, viewers, that's not possible. So anyone who agrees to this will have to fit this 10% demand into existing quotas, reducing the share of OBCs and Dalits, maybe even scheduled tribes. Jinnah in 1929 demanded reservations for Muslims across the nation. The Ulema in 2024 says reserve tickets for 50 Muslims in assembly polls in Maharashtra specifically. Jinnah in 1929 wanted separate electorates for Muslims. Ulema in 2024 said educated Muslims receive preference in police recruitment within the state. They want this. Jinnah in 1929 said adequate representation for Muslims in all tiers of government. Ulema in 2024 says Mufti Maulana of All India Ulema Board, Imam of Alim Hafiz Mosque should be taken in the government, i.e. viewers, should be made cabinet ministers in any prospective MVA government in Maharashtra or in Jharkhand. Jinnah in 1929 came out and said Muslim representation in central and state cabinet is one of his unviolable demands. Ulema in 2024 says anti-blasphemy law to protect Muslim religion. Jinnah in 1929 said guarantee inviolability of Muslim personal law. Alarmingly, as I have already mentioned, the India bloc seems to be giving a wide berth to these demands. And where it isn't, it seems to be mouthing some of the demands. Now let me give instances to you, viewers. Again, I'm only quoting back to you what these gentlemen have said. This is Rais Sheikh on your screens. He's a Samajwadi Party MLA, a legislator who swears by the Constitution of India. And he is from Bhiwandi, East constituency. And he says the demands that are put forward by the Ulema board will be taken into consideration. Not just the Muslim community, I believe every community is supporting the MVA. He is saying, viewers, to the Ulema board and through the Ulema board to millions of Muslims in Maharashtra and Jharkhand that your so-called spokespeople's demands will be considered. Viewers, this is very dangerous. Here's another instance. On the 9th of November, a letter allegedly signed by NCP leader Jayant Patil emerges claiming that NCP's Sharad Pawar faction has accepted the support of the Ulema. Of course, the NCP Sharad Pawar faction has distanced itself from the letter, but viewers, it has not still clarified its stand, whether it does indeed reject what is a palpably communal demand. It hasn't said that. It has just said, no, I don't know if this leader has made these comments or not. Even though, viewers, the NCP Sharad Pawar is speaking in different voices. There are different elements in the NCP Sharad Pawar that agrees with some aspects of the Ulema's demands and rejects the others. But viewers, this entire manifesto of separatism, of a two-nation mindset must be rejected outright. But viewers, we are not seeing that. Here's another instance. On 31st October, just a few days back, Nayab Ansari, the AIUB vice chairman, released a letter allegedly written by Congress state chief Nana Patole accepting the Ulema board's support. Now viewers, no one is going to accept support and no one is going to give support without some sort of an arrangement or an agreement, viewers. Here's another instance. This is instance 4, November 11th. Just today, Telangana Chief Minister warns Muslims that, quote, Modi Parivar, unquote, will scrap the 4% reservation provided exclusively to minorities by the Congress party. Viewers, religious quotas are illegal. They are unconstitutional. Mahatma Gandhi nearly gave up his life. And it was only because of the Pune Pact that he lived for another 8 years. Viewers, naturally the Bharatiya Janata Party is in overdrive. Large number of others from the defense establishment, large number of other common citizens are upset and they are tweeting away. They are expressing themselves on different social media platforms. Right from the Prime Minister downwards, BJP leaders are warning voters against this divisive agenda. The BJP says not only will voting for the India bloc further the Jinnah two-nation mindset that will fracture the social fabric, but handing out quotas to Muslims based on religion will also reduce the quota component for OBCs and Adivasis, which will spawn a backlash that will disrupt India. And remember, viewers, it will also incentivize conversions out of Hinduism. Everyone will say, to get a quota, let's change our religion. Viewers, this is a palpably destabilizing act. Amit Shah, Union Home Minister, has come out and said, and I quote, in Maharashtra, a group of some ulemas submitted a memorandum to them, and he is referring to the Mahayuti, the Mahavikas Aghadi rather, about 10% reservation to Muslims. And the Congress state chief said that they will help them in it. Congress wants to give 10% reservations to Muslims by decreasing the reservation limit of OBCs, Dalits and tribals. Failure of Congress and its MVA partners to rebuff the demand straight away marked an insult to Chhatrapati Shivaji's legacy, unquote. Viewers, Ravi Shankar Prasad, BJP MP, says Rahul Gandhi always talks about the constitution. Religion-based reservation is not permissible under the constitution. Rahul Gandhi, the BJP, would like to know, because any reservation on religious grounds is prohibited. How does your president of Maharashtra, Nana Patole, tell the Jamaat Ulema-e-Hind that he will consider the demand for a 10% reservation for Muslims? How much more will you break the nation just for the sake of votes, unquote? Well, viewers, these are just a sample of the political reactions, but as I told you, there are hundreds of citizens, thousands of citizens, lakhs of them who have a problem with this. And this prompts us to ask, how are demands for a Muslim quota, for a guarantee that Muslim personal law will forever be subjected to Sharia, and groups that want to oppose the Waqf amendment, and all these other demands not being outrightly opposed? How is it? And how are these Break India ideas even being entertained? And why is a platform being provided to the Jinnah manifesto, so to speak? Viewers, let's open this up. Let's ask some fundamental questions. Kamru Chaudhary, I have the statement of Mr. Patole. It's a letter. No one has in any way rejected. Neither has Mr. Patole distanced himself, and neither has the Congress come out and said that this letter is not theirs, etc. It's been put out by the Ulema itself. And here you are giving in to palpably unconstitutional demands. Now, do you believe? Forget about the constitution. But Mahatma Gandhi, who is an avowed congressman, do you at least believe in him? Or have you forgotten even Mahatma Gandhi now?
Yeah, Rahul, good evening. First and foremost, a small correction. I believe this was a mistake on your introduction out here. You mentioned in one sentence about Jamaat-e Ulema-e-Hind. But I believe there was a mistake because that's an All India Ulema Council. Jamaat-e
Yeah.
Ulema-e-Hind,
Okay.
that's run by Arshad Madani and Masood
No,
Madani.
I am only talking about what Amit Shah has said. I'm only
Yeah.
quoting him. Now, he might have made
No,
the mistake that, it's
because
not that all.
Jamaat-e,
I understand the
believe,
difference. Answer the question.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
all understand. It's not my words. It's Amit
No,
Shah. So
just correcting.
good.
Now,
Thank
coming
you.
to the main point out here,
Yeah.
Rahul.
Yeah.
Tonight, we are discussing on such an issue which has been long been debated. Let me remind you on the Constituent Assembly 25th of May 1949, the entire issue of reservation for the Muslims was discussed threadbare. And in that Constituent Assembly, when we gave to ourselves the Constitution of India, the religion-based reservation was rejected. Now come to the status as on the Sachar Committee recommendations that has come through and the Ranganathan Mishra Commission recommendation that has come out here. Now, what did the Ranganathan Mishra say about the reservation issue? He categorically stated that he is advocating a 10% reservation for the Muslim community in India. He is advocating another 5% reservation for other religious minorities like the Christians, Sikhs, Buddhists and Parsis, and their inclusion in the OBC category. That was his recommendation. And this recommendation came out in 2007 when the UPA was in power. I believe during that time, if the UPA wanted to implement it could have implemented it. But for the sake of a greater debate, national debate on this reservation, who should be the actual beneficiaries of the reservation in the country, it was decided not to implement the Ranganathan Mishra Commission recommendation, except for only one clause in which it was said to create an Equal Opportunity Commission, which was started in 2013, late or 2014 first, I don't know exactly. But then after that, whatever has happened is there in our recent memory. I don't want to get into this. But having said that, Rahul, we need to understand the demands that are coming out from so-called Ulema Council out there, or an Imam Bukhari advocating to vote for the Congress party or the Samajwadi party does not hold merit, because we are questioning the logic of the common sense of the common voter of this country, and we should respect the judgment of the common voter. And we as a Congress mindset, we reject outrightly any demand or which is against the Constitution of India. The government of India, the Congress party is duty bound to maintain the social fabric of the country as per se as it is now.
Sir,
we need to have some changes. Rahul,
Mr.
just 10 seconds, I'll finish it off. We need to have some very important discussions on this, whether the reservations are reaching to the needy society. That's what the Congress party has always said, to include a caste census in the census of the 2021 that is going to be held in the next year or so. So that's the clear stand position of the Congress party. We give a damn whether some Ulema Council or
No, sorry,
RSS
Mr. Chaudhary, I'm
Vishwa
sorry. You mentioned 2 or 3 commissions. Ranganathan Commission, Sachar Commission. Have you heard of the Nanamati Mehta Commission, sir?
Yes.
In what context have you heard of it, sir?
No, listen, the most recent commissions
No, I'm asking you. Have you heard of this? You said you heard of it. Now, I'll tell you. Do you accept the recommendations of just about any commission, sir?
It's up to the government of the day.
Okay. No, I'm asking you because you are giving so much. No, I'll tell you, because you are giving so much thrust. And you heard him. Ranganathan Commission. Then he talked about the, what is it called, the Sachar Commission, where they have made the recommendation that 10%, you see, quotas should be given to Muslims, this, that, the other. Now, viewers, think about it. He's quoting this commission as if all its findings should be implemented, as if it's the gospel. Now, when I bring up the Nanamati Mehta Commission, he doesn't quite know what it is. I'll tell you what it is. Viewers, it was an inquiry that was appointed by the government of Gujarat under Narendra Modi to probe the Godhra train burning incident of 27th February 2002. And that commission came out and said that the train bogies were burnt as part of a planned conspiracy. Now, viewers, no one will accept this recommendation from the opposition side. But if I put it out there and say, no, this is what it is being said, so therefore on the basis of which we must accept this, they will cry murder of democracy, free speech, choice, this, that, the other. The fact of the matter is, viewers, that Nana Patole has been quoted by the Ulema Council as having written to them, they even put the letter out to say that they have accepted the demands. And Kamru Chaudhary is telling me on national TV that we will not accept this. Viewers, the voter doesn't know this. The voter has been told by the Ulema Council, see, the Congress, you elect the Congress, they will give us what we have demanded. This is fraud.
The BJP spokesperson
this is fraud.
There to,
no, the BJP spokesperson is there.
No,
he's in a car.
He could have reported me instead of an anchor reporting me.
Here, there he comes. Pradeep Bhandari is there.
Instead of an anchor
let me get him. No, what do you mean an anchor? I'm giving you the facts.
No,
I'm giving you these facts. These are absolutely the facts. I'm giving you the absolute facts. The Congress party has not come out.
The essence of the Constitution.
No, what do you mean? It doesn't represent the essence of the Constitution.
What
Just
does
a
the
minute.
Constitution
Let me bring it.
What does the
One second.
Constitution
Let me
say
bring
on
in Mr.
reservations?
Bhandari. Let me bring in Mr. Bhandari. Mr. Bhandari, are minority Muslim quotas right now, as the law stands, legal or are they illegal? Mr. Bhandari, and there is also Ishkaran Bhandari here with us, who is also a lawyer, and I'll bring him out, and Anish Gawande. I'm asking Pradeep Bhandari.
Rahul, what the Congress party has promised is anti-constitutional, anti-secular, and it is against the basic fabric of the Indian democracy. What I charge, Rahul, is that the Congress party wants to convert Indian Republic, the constitutional republic, into an Islamic republic from the back door. Please tell me, Rahul, did Nana Patole say no to the proposal of the Ulema Council?
Did he interrupt you? He didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you, Mr. Chaudhary, and this is not fair.
Rahul,
you cannot interrupt other people. You can object. After that, you raise your hand and I'll come out to you and you can object as much as you want. But let him finish.
Islamic Republic out here?
Let him finish, sir.
What is the context out here?
Sir, I'll tell you what the context is. When the valley in Kashmir, when the valley in Kashmir, no, 1 minute. When the valley in Kashmir, no, 1 second. When valley politicians, I'll tell you what is a, no, I'll tell you. 1 second. If you are prepared to listen to me, I will tell you, sir.
But I will not.
There are a group of legislators in the valley. There are a group of legislators, viewers, in the valley who have taken it upon themselves to speak for every citizen of Jammu and Kashmir. In fact, just last week, and you saw the scenes, a resolution was passed to bring back Article 370, viewers. You saw that. And BJP legislators who come from Jammu and who objected to it were thrown out of the house, as if their views and the views of Jammu were not in any way relevant. Can you believe it, viewers? You shut down half of the public because it doesn't suit your agenda. That, viewers, is dictatorship. That is fascism, and that is the beginning. And that is the beginning, viewers, of creating an Islamic Republic in Kashmir. I'll say it.
Rahul,
1 minute.
Thank you for
Let me bring in Pradeep Bhandari now, please. Rahul. Mr. Bhandari, yes, make your point. Start your point.
Rahul,
again. Yes.
Please, Rahul, allow me, because I'm just joining a bit late and I apologize for that. Please request. Yes. I will request Kamru to hold on his thoughts. I was not interrupting him. I will re-begin it. Rahul, my charge is very serious and it's a very responsible charge. The Congress party does not believe in the Constitution of India. It wants to convert Indian democracy into an Islamic Republic from the back door, and I will prove it here forward. Point number one, the proposal of the Ulema Council was and is that it wants to get Muslim reservation, it wants to prefer Muslim community in the police force and in the police rank. This is not what a constitutional democracy can allow. This is what happens in Islamic Republic, where religious-based appointment happens to the police force. Point number one. Point number two, religious-based caste-based reservation is anti-constitutional, and even in that, only for the Muslim community, only happens in countries where the constitution is not followed, but the Islamic laws is followed. The Congress party has not outrightly rejected it. Point number 3, Priyanka Vadra takes support from Jamaat-e-Islami in a constituency where 35% Muslim electorate is, because she knows that she can get 90% of electorate Muslim vote. Point number 4, in the 2009 Congress Manifesto, if you read the Congress Manifesto, it proposes and promises that if the Congress party comes to power with full majority, it will look at implementing the Muslim reservation pan-India. Next point which I want to reiterate is this stand which the Congress party has taken, it's not a unilateral stand. If I club it with the constant rant against Sanatan, if even in the caste census which the Congress party speaks about, it is only a caste census against the Hindu community, in the Hindu community, but it does not speak about the caste in the Muslim community. All of this points towards one thing: when the Congress party is silent when rant is against Sanatan like dengue, malaria, AIDS, and it is silent, it does not act. Looking at the history of the Congress party, where it got the communal violence bill, which was absolutely anti-constitutional, this is why it could not pass. Where every riot it made the Hindu as the aggressor and the victim as the Muslim, that is anti-constitutional, and this is only what happens in Islamic republics. Now I will prove it. Why what the Congress party is doing is anti-constitutional. Allow me to read the Sardar Patel's quote from the Constituent Assembly debate, and I quote Sardar Patel: "In the long run, it would be in the interest of all to forget that there is anything like majority or a minority in this country, and that in India there is only one community, which is the Bharatiya." The only Muslim women in the Constituent Assembly, Begum Aizaz Rasool, said on the Muslim reservation, to my quote, "To my mind, Muslim reservation is a self-destructive weapon which separates the minorities from the majorities for all the time. It gives no chance to the minorities to win the goodwill of the majority. It keeps the spirit of separatism and communalism alive, which should be done away once for all." Which means that everybody in the Constituent Assembly agreed that the Muslim reservation is anti-constitutional. If the Congress party had the spirit of the Constitution of India, it would have outrightly rejected it. But purely for Muslim votes, like it happened in Malegaon Central, where they got 90% of the Muslim vote, they hope and pray that 30 assembly constituencies in Maharashtra, where the Muslim vote is important, they can swing the 90% of that. But at what cost? At the cost of Constitution of India. And this is the first step of taking forward the Islamic Republic. This is what we tried in Kashmir.
Let me open this
so I am
up.
not making it responsible.
Mr. Gawande is there.
Kamru in my debate, Kamru in another challenger debate asked for looting the Hindu temple's gold. Please check on social media. Kamru Chaudhary endorses that Hindu temple's gold which the devotees give. He wants to loot it and tax it and monetize it. Will he apply the same principle to the dargah and any other thing? No, he will not do it. So this is pure Islamic Republic which Kamru and the Congress party wants to take forward. And Rahul Gandhi had said
one
in an
second.
interview to the
Let me come in here.
That Congress is a Muslim party.
That's
it's an own record.
Can I come in, Rahul?
Yeah, come in.
Can I come in?
Come in, Mr. Chaudhary. Come in.
Rahul, Pradeep Bhandari comes out the context of a debate which has no context to today's debate. He brings out this thing out here. When I said that you are watching, you are trying to seize the Waqf properties of the Muslims out here. What is the problem? 200 plus billion gold are lying in our temples in the country. What is that? We can simply monetize them and get our country debt free. That was in the context of a discussion.
Okay, one second. Listen, I'm not interested in. Hang on, gentlemen. Let me just step in here. I'm really not interested in what happened on another channel, and I'm really not interested in your past histories and whatever you have gone through, etc., etc. Just park it outside this debate. I'm not taking it on board. Viewers, you can disregard it too. But I want to open this up. I want to bring in Ishkaran Bhandari as well as Mr. Gawande. Let's bring them up together. Now, Ishkaran Bhandari. The demand is reserve tickets for 50 Muslims in assembly polls. Is this constitutionally acceptable? Yes or no, sir?
Rahul, it is constitutionally absolutely not acceptable.
Okay, just hold on, just 1 second, just hold on. I'll take you to three of these. Then please, I want you to put it in context.
Yes, please.
10% reservations for Muslims in Maharashtra. Is this constitutional? Yes or no, sir?
No, it is not possible.
Okay.
Not constitutional. Possible, I do not know what parties do.
Okay. Muslim representation in central and state cabinet.
No reservation of that sort can be done.
Okay. Now, Ishkaran Bhandari, if any political party, I'm not even saying agreeing, I am saying giving a platform to these demands without coming out and saying we reject outright such demands, are they playing into the hands of a two-nation mindset, yes or no?
Absolutely yes.
Okay. Can you explain why?
Yes. Rahul, I answered no to 3 questions and yes to 1 question on reservation and 2 nation mindset. But I am not surprised by these demands, and I am not surprised by platforming or entering into a conversation like this when you accept support or get clicked with people like this. And the reason is very simple. We are pretending as if 1947, pre-1947 events didn't occur, which we have covered beautifully. Everybody should study. But I will cover events post-1947 to 2014 to say why the demand or the attempt to make this demand is not unfounded, because they have gotten demands like this. You start with the very first thing. You were supposed to have a uniform civil code, but you bring the Hindu code bill, but you do not touch Muslim personal law. So of course, do they not think that Muslim personal law is something which is sacrosanct and cannot be touched? And socialist leaders at that time called it a wrong move, called it a communal move, if I remember correctly. So that is one. The second aspect is you bring 35A in a manner alien to constitution. That is why one of the things I said it was, no, it is not constitution, but can a government do something like this? You never know how anti-constitution a government can be to create something for their vote bank. The third aspect of that is when a Shah Bano comes from Supreme Court, they overrule it because they want to satisfy a vote bank. I believe Places of Worship Act is absolutely unconstitutional, but it got passed to this country. Now it is under a constitutional challenge. How the Waqf Act has been strengthened from time to time. So when you have given so much, when you have learnt no lessons from 1947, where you keep giving into demands and that leads to partition of India, where you have seen what happened to Sanatan Dharam in Afghanistan, which has evaporated from there, it has been exterminated from there. I have no qualms in saying that's a genocide which happened there. When there is genocide which happened in Bangladesh, when there is a genocide which happened in Pakistan, and that's borne by hard data and facts, then are you surprised as these demands are being made? Because from 1947 till 2014, at various stages, these demands have been fulfilled.
Have been fulfilled. Viewers, through the back door, 99% of the times. Anish Gawande, can I bring you in now, sir? Thank you for giving me all your attention, and you've been very patient. Now, I'm going to quote out of you the MVA's Maharashtra Election Manifesto. Please open page number 14 under the subsection Social Justice, which mentions, and I quote, in line with the vision of Shri Kashiram Ji, the leader of the oppressed, representation based on numbers, we will rectify the confusion surrounding Maratha, Dhangar, Muslim, etc. reservations created during the Mahayuti government's tenure, ensuring justice for these groups, unquote. Your boss, Supriya Sule, has stated that the Maha Vikas Aghadi backed reservations for Muslims and for Lingayats, emphasizing that this is not a new sentiment. She said, quote, we have said in the parliament that Dhangar, Maratha, Muslim, Lingayat and denotified nomadic tribes should be given reservation. I have said it for the last 10 years in parliament and there is nothing new about it. Everybody in the Maha Vikas Aghadi, including Uddhav Thackeray, has agreed to it. It's a line that we have all taken. Sir, this is the first demand in the Ulema Council, Manifesto for Change. This is one of the first demands in Jinnah's 14-point resolution. I have connected the dots. Why are you pushing Jinnah's agenda?
Rahul, thank you so much for having me on your show, and it's my first time here, and I wish it weren't on an issue like this before an election that should be about many other issues. But let me connect some dots for you as well, right? The first point being that the NCP-SP has consistently supported reservations for 5 communities that have made a sincere demand for reservation. Muslims, Lingayats, Marathas, NTDNTs, and the sort of Dhangar community. This has been something that we've reiterated again, as Supriyatai said, for the last 10 years. Now, the demand for Muslim reservation is not new. The BJP's own alliance partner, Chandrababu Naidu, in Andhra Pradesh, has a 4% reservation for Muslims. Why has the BJP not taken the same stance against its own alliance partner, which it is now in government with at the center? Let me point out a few more things to you. The Ulema Council, whose letter that you mentioned, was sent almost a month ago, or more than a month ago. This is a council that I have not personally heard of before and not encountered across the campaign trail. So I slightly doubt its relevance and its credibility. And I don't think that any party has agreed to all of those demands that have been made by this Ulema Council. Finally, I want to bring your attention to a more worrying aspect, right? That you talked about Mahatma Gandhi. You talked about the sort of divisive figures who have been trying to polarize this election. But you've forgotten that the same Mahatma Gandhi, who was called the son of a Muslim zamindar by Bhide Guruji in Sangli, was disrespected when Amit Shah met Bhide Guruji in Sangli just this week. And you've seen time and again over the course of this election an attempt to polarize voters and to only focus on Hindu-Muslim issues when the core issues of this election are something very different. Please tell me, in that 48-page manifesto, is a two-nation theory supported by a cervical cancer vaccine for all women? Is a two-nation theory supported by increased programs for AI in agriculture? Is a two-nation theory supported by a Maharashtra Olympics Association? You know the hypocrisy of the BJP,
I'll tell you,
which has said Batenge, ek hai to safe hai, and has become a marketing agency, is on full show.
You
and I
say,
want to just add one point, Rahul, one point if I might.
Yeah, of course.
Because I have listened patiently.
Yeah, please.
So one point that I'd like to add is that the BJP, which has been playing a moral high ground politics this entire election, which has called Nawab Malik a terrorist, is now okay with its own alliance partner fielding him as one of their candidates on their symbol in Mankhurd Shivaji Nagar. So this is a little rich coming from a party that has no track record standing by its own commitments.
I just want to say, Mr. Gawande, you are well within your rights to attack the BJP for all its hypocrisies, fair enough. But you said, I wish it had been this conversation that we were having on another day when we were talking more substantive issues. That's what you said. And why are we focusing on these other issues? Now, viewers, undermining the Constitution by promising certain things that are illegal is a major issue. It talks about the fact that a particular grouping, it could also be the BJP, and I'm not saying that they are angels, viewers. I'm not saying so at all. You know that I have opposed some of the corrupt people that they've taken into their political party after calling them the most skullduggerous individuals on earth. And Mr. Gawande has referred to another individual right now, Mr. Nawab Malik, against whom I held an entire 25-minute broadcast. So viewers, my point is not here getting into the various hypocrisies of political parties. What is worrying me, viewers, is that an entity that wants to rule Maharashtra comes out and says that we stand by Muslim quotas. Forget if the demand has come from the Ulema Council. Where does this demand actually come from? And who opposed it? It was Mahatma Gandhi who opposed it, viewers. Their patron saint. The same person that Mr. Gawande says should be respected at all costs. He's the one who rejected this. Yet they, in letter and spirit, and I have quoted out of the manifesto, are promising this Muslim manifesto, Muslim quota, viewers. And tell me one thing, if it was such an ancillary issue, then this quota that will have to be brought in case these people win, because they promised it in their manifesto, at whose cost will it be brought in, viewers? Because there's a cap of 50%. So it will be brought in at the cost of Dalits, OBCs. Is that not an important issue, viewers? You tell me. You are snatching from Peter to pay Paul. And that's a problem. Because that is a recipe for societal unrest. But nonetheless, Mr. Bhandari, a quick response to Mr. Gawande, and then I need to move on to an exclusive story that we have been reporting here on CNN News 18. Yes.
Well, Rahul, I don't need sermons and lectures from a party which invented...
No, you need to answer the question.
...in the 1990s, which never existed. I am answering the question, point number one. So, but I don't need sermons from a party which invented the 13th bomb blast, and that is point number one in 1990s. So, that's the number one. Number two, on the Nawab Malik front, I am aware, and you are also aware, everybody is aware, there is no alliance on that seat. It is much better. On 287 seats, we are in alliance, and there is an absolutely ideological synchrony. Point number three, Mr. Gawande spoke about, he did not reiterate and assure the people and the viewers that A, does he support religious-based reservations in the police force? That he said he's not rejected. It means that tomorrow he will give preference to an akhlaq over a Rahul, or he will give preference to an akhlaq over a Rishabh. That is what he's proposing. This happens in Islamic republics. Point number three, he has not even said that a Muslim-based reservation is anti-constitution. It is absolutely anti-constitution. On the Andhra Pradesh part, he is again not aware of facts. Let me educate him on facts. Chandrababu Naidu had given an open statement and he's assured that not even a single reservation of the SCs, STs, OBCs will be taken and given to the Muslim community. So there is no additional reservation which is happening for the Muslim communities. Here Rahul Gandhi has given statements where he says that that on one hand he is not rejecting Muslim reservation, on the other hand he has given a statement that he wants to see a place where the Dalit reservation can be taken away, which Nana Patole also endorsed. So what is the Congress party saying? It is saying that it will take away the reservation of the Dalits and eventually give it to the Muslims. This is what the Congress party is.
Okay, just one second. Let me just step in here. Let me step in here. Gentlemen, 1 second. Let me just step in 1 second. Very quickly, Ishkaran Bhandari, please come in. Yes, Ishkaran Bhandari.
Rahul, just a short point. I just want to elaborate on a point you made.
Yeah.
Who will suffer if supposedly a Muslim reservation comes in? We have seen two examples of that. Example number one, AMU. When you create that Muslim reservation, make it a minority education institute, and even if you get funded from the state, Dalit reservation goes out of the window, OBC reservation goes out of the window. The second example is Jammu and Kashmir, where you make it a reservation, you bring 35A. Who suffers? The Dalits, the tribals were the biggest sufferers along with women when you brought 35 in. So we have two examples and many more if we have a longer debate of where reservation by Congress has directly affected the interests of Dalits as well as tribals, as well as women, as well as OBC.
Viewers, let me tell you, the point that is being made here is an important one, and it was made by Mr. Gawande. He's come out and he has said that we support reservations for 5 communities, including the Muslim community, viewers. They have not disowned it. This is their plank. I have only shown you who else has been advocating for this. And the genesis of that mental mindset, viewers. You tell me where that it will lead. I'm not even getting into right now the legalities of it. I need to move on, viewers, because this is a very, very important story that needs to be told. It's an exclusive, and it has been broken today after painstaking research that was conducted by one of my colleagues in the newsroom over a period of many days, because, viewers, these documents are very, very voluminous. But for the first time, unseen documents establish why the Trudeau government has ignored India's request to crack down on designated Khalistan terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar and other members of his inner circle. Why is it that Khalistanis have got such a wide berth in Canada? This, viewers, is being revealed tonight. Documents with us show that Nijjar and his associates funded Jagmeet Singh Dhaliwal, the Canadian MP whose party, the NDP, gave Trudeau's government a majority in Parliament to rule Canada. With Khalistani money in a way propping up the Trudeau government, it is now obvious why the Canadian Prime Minister was happy to malign India and why he provided protection to Khalistanis at the risk of abandoning Canadian Hindus, even Canadian Sikhs. Both Canadian Hindus and Sikhs today are standing in unity, viewers, in places like Brampton, and saying that we don't want these Khalistanis. But viewers, the government there is giving them a wide free run, wide berth and a free run. Why? Because the documents prove how deeply the Khalistan terror element is embedded in the Canadian political system. This link virtually rules out the Canadian state snapping its links with K elements anytime soon. What do we know, viewers? We know that K terrorist Nijjar's donation to the NDP, series of these donations began in 2014, 2017, not once but 3 times in 2017. The numbers are there. Now, viewers, let's look at Mo Dhaliwal, who was shot to fame being the man behind the Greta Thunberg toolkit deployed to great effect during the height of the Kisan stir here in India. And he's also a self-confessed avowed supporter of Khalistan. In 2017, again overlapping with the timeline of Nijjar, he donates money. He donates again in 2017, 4 or 5 times in 2017, once in 2018, once in 2019, again in 2019, again in 2019, then in 2021. Big chunks of money, viewers. His entire contribution is there on your screens. And the money doesn't matter, the size of it, viewers. The very fact that a political party is being funded by terrorists. Imagine this playing out in our country, viewers. Of course, after the Supreme Court judgment, we don't know where these political parties are getting their money from. But for a moment, if it turned out tomorrow that one of our mainstream political parties that was holding up the Modi government got money from terrorists, how do you think, viewers, people would have reacted? There is K-terrorist Tehal Singh's donation. He's an avowed Khalistani sympathizer to NDP. October 26, 2017, he gave $200. K-terrorist Bhagat Brar's donation to NDP, 2017 again. Not once, twice. Now, who are these individuals? And what are they wanted for? You know about Mr. Nijjar. Several cases against Nijjar for terror activities. Extradition of Nijjar has been sought by the Indian state on several occasions. A lookout circular against Nijjar in 2015. Red Corner noticed in 2016. Nijjar's main job was to identify youth born after 84, use them for terrorist acts. There's a whole litany of cases against him. Arranged the killing of Baba Banihari in 2014. Reportedly organized arms training camps in 2015. Gave training in AK-47, assault rifles, sniper rifles, pistols, etc. Separatist Mandeep Singh, given armed training by Nijjar. He's dead, of course, viewers. He also raised the 4-member KTF module in Punjab with Arshadullah. There are several things that India wanted him for, and we kept sending dossier after dossier to Trudeau and saying, look, these are not reasonable people. They're a threat to your democracy, your country, your society. Can you hand them over to us? No, viewers, the door was shut on our face. And when Nijjar was killed in a gang war, who was blamed? We. There are others. But let me quickly go across to Anand Narasimhan to get a sense really of this story. Anand Narasimhan, what can you tell us about this story? Put it together in context for us before I open this up.
CNN News 18 is in possession of documents from the elections website of Canada, where we have mined and researched how these K-goons, these Khalistanis, have been regular donors to NDP or Jagmeet Singh's party. Now, this is a picture that we have also accessed of Bhagat Singh Brar, who continues to remain on the no-fly list of the Canadian authorities, along with another accused in this, Parvarkar Singh Dulai, another person who is seen as a threat to flights, that they could indulge in acts of terrorism if they are on board a commercial airliner and they are on a no-fly list. But these are regular donors to the likes of Jagmeet Singh. And this list also includes the likes of Hardeep Nijjar. Now, these are exclusive documents that are in possession with CNN News 18. Now, this is the first one. See, Bhagat Brar. Bhagat Brar, October 1, 2017, has made donation worth $400 Canadian. Again, Bhagat Brar in October 2017, another $400, all to Jagmeet Singh. This is in 2017. What we're trying to establish here is that nearly for a decade, if not more, these people have been associated and closely knit, and that's why, given the influence that Jagmeet Singh today and his party wield within the Canadian administration and government, and how much Justin Trudeau's party, the Liberals, are actually dependent on his support, that's the reason why these Khalistanis are getting such a free run. But look at this long list. Even Mo Dhaliwal. This is continuous series of donations worth $1,500, $1,000, $1,550, $1,600 that the likes of Mo Dhaliwal has made. Then further, we've got documents which say these are donations made from 2017, 2019, 2019, 2021 and even 2018 at different dates. Mo Dhaliwal has made these donations. So again, these are people, persons of interest for the Indian government. You got the likes of Malkeet Singh, again part of the Sari Gurdwara, who's made donations. It's not the amount of the donations, but these are all token donations in some cases which have been made just to endorse, not just support, but also to say that we owe our allegiance to you. Now in this case, Dulai Parkar, again 31st December 2015, he's made a donation of $1,500. Now these are elements who are present in Canada and who have been constantly on the no-fly list. list. I'll show you how important it is. Look at the donations that the likes of Hardeep Nijjar have made since 2014, 31st December 2014. He is somebody who is a person of interest with a red corner notice against him since 2016, designated a wanted man by the Indian government, denied citizenship by the Canadians thrice, and then he entered Canada on false documents under a false name.
Shocking.
Then he reveals his name, Nijjar Hardeep Singh, donation on 31st, then again 31st December 2017, October 1st 2017, December 31st 2017. All these donations are to the New Democratic Party or the NDP and also to Jagmeet Singh. These are the donations that the likes of Nijjar have made. All these names that I am taking right now here on CNN News 18, Tehal Singh, again, $200, 2017, October 1st. These are all people who are regular donors to the NDP, but more importantly, they are seen as security threats. They are those people who run the banned Khalistan organizations like Babbar Khalsa International, Khalistan Tiger Force, and they are all operating out of Canadian soil. Secessionist entities who've got proximity with ISI
and funding,
and whose members are also based out of Lahore under the aegis of ISI, and that's also been proven here with video footage, documented footage by CNN News 18. Now, this is as recently as the 19th of June 2024, 2024-06 is the month and 19th is the date. Bhagat Singh Brar and Parvarkar Dulai as appellants against the Canada Minister of Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness, and they have gone as appellants to claim that they should be removed off the no-fly list.
So these are
what
people...
does the judgment at the end they say? The federal court at the end says, they say the evidence before the federal court was sufficient in quality and quantity, was sufficiently reliable to support maintaining the appellants on the list. See, in particular, the respondents' confidential memorandum of fact and law, in particular in paras. The amicus curiae were right not to try. Looking at all the evidence, close this case. Was not. So that's what exactly the federal court has said as recently as 19th of June 2024, that the likes of Bhagat Singh Brar and Parvarkar Singh Dulai are a threat to commercial airlines if they are put on board and they are still on the no-fly list, but they remain donors to Jagmeet Singh's NDP. So all K elements, all nefarious elements, all wanted elements, most of them have red corner notices, if not all, and the Interpol is on a lookout for them. They are all on Canadian soil.
They are a threat
and
to
actively
Canadians.
Involved with this man, Jagmeet Singh, the leader or the head of the NDP.
My gosh, thank you indeed. That was very comprehensive and very well done, Anand. Thank you very much. Let's open this up. I want to bring in Dean Baxendale, who is, of course, a Canadian journalist from Toronto. Mr. Baxendale, no wonder India wasn't getting much of a hearing from Mr. Trudeau. His allies funded by these characters, no wonder they're there, living with impunity, attacking Hindus, insulated from every bit of pressure. Do you think Mr. Trudeau should come out and explain this?
Well, the situation here in Canada, as I've emphasized to your listeners or viewers before, is that we have significant foreign interference in Canada. This idea that individuals who...
No, hang on, just a minute. Mr. Baxendale, this is not foreign interference. These are your Canadian citizens, by the way.
Yeah, no, let me finish.
No, I need to I need to correct you. You can't suddenly say that these are foreigners. These are your Canadian citizens that you speak up for. And let me tell you, who are a threat to Canadians. They're on no-fly lists, sir, in your country.
I understand. If you let me finish,
please.
I will. We have a Foreign Interference Commission taking place right now. Donations by individuals, be them from affiliated with the People's Republic of China, Iran, or Russia, are gaining influence inside Canada's political apparatus, and this fits a pattern that has been taking place for some time. If there are individuals who you say are on the no-fly zone, no-fly watch list, then we should have a process with the Indian government for evidence to be presented in court and have these people removed.
No, just a minute. Now again, this is very standard. This is very standard, viewers.
Yeah, but it has to go through a court of law.
Listen, it's already in the court of law. The court has upheld the fact that these guys should be on a no-fly list because they're a threat. They can blow up airlines. I'm not saying it. The Canadian courts have said it. They went up in appeal. Their appeal has been rejected. You heard my colleague, Anand Narsimhan, putting it out there for you. He read out the court order. Now, viewers, this is what I'm trying to tell you. The onus is always put on India. Go out there, prove. Your own courts are standing up and saying these guys are a threat to Canadians. they're a threat to any
Therefore,
aircraft.
they should be charged and put in jail.
They should be charged and put in jail. And that proves, Mr. Baxendale, that India has been maligned deliberately by the Canadian government because they don't, and the Trudeau government, because they don't want to take action against the real people because they're in bed with them, willy-nilly, either through an ally or who knows, maybe Trudeau is getting financed himself. I don't know. We just don't have the facts. We're going to keep digging, let me tell you. But I thought, Mr.
I hope you do.
Yeah, well, we're doing your job. This is something that the Canadian authorities should be doing. This, viewers, is what that warped Washington Post should be doing, rather than taking briefs from Canadian ministers. If it had any spine or pretensions towards objective journalism, it would have done what we have done today, viewers. That entire cabal, viewers, screwed with the minds of American electorate. And look where it got them. Look where it got them. This is the ecosystem we're up against. Yes, let me just bring in Mr. Maan. Ramneek Maan, you were raising your hand, and I also want to, after that, bring in Mr. Bhandari. Mr. Maan, this proves the point that India has been making, that we are being maligned, we are being painted the black sheep here, and now we realize that the money that has been coming in has completely clouded everyone's vision in Canada, especially the Trudeau government.
Good evening, Rahul. And well, let's bring this into perspective to begin with.
Yeah.
Well, there are terrorists which are severely under pressure from several law enforcement agencies or countries.
Yeah.
But here you have an instance which is very rare, an exception, where a prime minister, a country, is under pressure from terrorists. I mean, this money that we discuss is very small, I'll tell you. Poor Joke Foundation, Poetic Justice Foundation, PFJ, had paid, allegedly paid 2.5 million to Rihanna for a tweet, which they of course denied.
Yeah.
And then there was Mia Khalifa who was paid. And where is this money coming from? And is this not drug money? Is this not blood money? Is this not money collected from all illegitimate means? Is this not money which has costed several Canadian lives? And when the honorable gentleman here, who's a journalist from Toronto, was mentioning about trying and bringing to justice and punishing. Sir, how many people did you punish for killing 326 people aboard Kanishka? And how long did it take? Who are the people? Do you know that one of the people accused, or rather somebody who had been involved in Kanishka, Talvinder Parmar, whose extradition was sought and refused just because, Pere Trudeau, Justin Trudeau's father, believed that India, quote unquote, was not respectful enough towards the Queen.
Yeah.
And eventually he did what he did. And on 20th October, not too far back, this year, his martyrdom day, if I may, was celebrated in Sari Gurdwara Sahib.
That's right.
What you are permitting is a repeat of what had happened much earlier in time. There are 26 extradition requests and there are 29 requests for arrest, total 55 in number, with enough evidence. And if that's not enough, then if, Canadian elections are being, as we all know, interfered by the Chinese.
Yeah.
And you have cultural centers, which are actual police stations in China. Run by the Chinese in Canada. No, Rahul, there are cultural centers which are literally police stations run by Chinese in Canada.
Well,
and they are the ones responsible.
There is clearly something malevolent. Clearly something malevolent. I think you make some very good points, Mr. Maan. Ishkan Bhandari, no wonder India is being made to look like the villain, because the entire Canadian establishment has been bought out. And this is only what is official. God knows what is passing under the tables. Yes.
Exactly.
Rahul, man may lie, but documents do not lie, and money trail is a conclusive proof in any jurisdiction of the world. Here we are having terrorists funding a political party. If a Western journalist had done a news like this, probably would have won a Pulitzer Prize. You are showing an official ruling party being funded by a terrorist. The problem is, for some of these political parties, a person who does terrorism in India is an honorable citizen of their own country, even though he may be a risk to their own country. My friend Ramneek has given various examples of where this money is coming from. I will just add one more example. Who knows what foreign powers are funding this money to create unrest in India? So that being legitimized by the Canadian government, and it's a very dicey situation because they are trying to create a rift between Hindus and Sikhs. One is 2.3%, one is 2%, who live very happily and peacefully in India, but there is a politics to separate them also in Canada, which is going on to half the strength, to pick pieces from there. That is the real danger which is being encouraged by Justin Trudeau, and it's not so easy because conservatives also cancelled the Diwali function. So for the community itself, be it one party or the other party, it is a very sensitive time. What is said in India is true there. Batoge to katoge.
Absolutely.
Please, I hope Sikhs and Hindus stay united in Canada.
I think, viewers, this is really an expose that opens up everyone's eyes. Now we know why Trudeau looks the other way. Now we know why Jagmeet behaves in the manner he does. Viewers, speaking so enthusiastically
Rahul,
for the Khalistani cause.
60% of the victims of Khalistani gangs have been Sikhs.
I know. I've been looking at those numbers, and we will be coming
And
out with something more.
The percentage
I don't
is
want
much
to.
larger in Canada.
I don't want to
They've
get
been
ahead.
killing Sikhs more than they've killed
Mr. Man,
Hindus.
I don't want to get ahead. There are other exposés coming up in the next few days. So I don't want to get ahead. Stay tuned. Watch this space. Viewers, as I wrap out of this show, I just want to bring to your attention something that has been bothering a large number of people. This is rank hypocrisy. The Congress party is leaving nothing in its bid to play to its vote bank. It has now taken a major step to repudiate BJP star campaigner UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, taking exception to, quote, a religious figure like Chief Minister Yogi participating in politics. Congress Chief Kharge has come out and said, and I quote him, so what he says, many leaders live in the guise of sadhus and have now become politicians. Some have become chief ministers. They wear gerua, which is saffron clothes, and have no hair on their heads. Either wear white clothes, or if you are a sannyasi, get out of politics, unquote. Kharge is being selective, viewers. But this statement is a massive contradiction in terms. Here's how Kharge's Congress doesn't walk the talk on mixing religion with politics. Hard fact one. I always bring you these hard facts so you can get closer to the truth. Part of the alliance in West Bengal in 2021 with Furfura Sharif Mosque head cleric Abbas Siddiqui. So Congress had no problems tying up with religious figures from another community. Hard fact 2, in 2022, Congress welcomed fire-breathing cleric Tawqir Raza into its ranks, gave him a ticket to contest an election. This is ahead of the UP Assembly polls. Hard fact 3, Congress ally and NCP MP Agha Sayyid Rahula Mehdi belongs to a prominent Shia religious order. Hard fact 4, Mohibullah Nadwi, Imam of Parliament Street in Delhi Mosque, is Congress ally Samajwadi Party's Member of Parliament from Rampur. What is the takeaway? Clearly for some, the participation of Muslim religious figures in politics is seen as a step towards furthering inclusive democracy. But the participation of Hindu religious figures is a nod to communalism, viewers. It is astounding, the duplicity. Astounding. Topi is secular, not the tilak, viewers, for the Congress party. I'll leave it at that.
You don't have one problem in Russia. We have. You don't have. You might have. You still have. Let's see. Hello, everybody.
Все понятно, все слышно? Да.
To protect our citizens from this global menace. But if we're going to solve many of the problems facing our world, then we're going to have to find ways to cooperate in pursuit of shared interests. And we're going to have to find ways to cooperate in pursuit of shared interests. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to Vantage. We are coming to you from New York. The election fever is over. President-elect Donald Trump is hitting the ground running. New reports say he spoke to Russia's Vladimir Putin last week. But the Kremlin says the call never happened. So why the mixed messaging? What is Donald Trump's plan to end the war in Ukraine? We'll bring you a report. And while Putin denies the call, another world leader is bragging about it. Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu. He has spoken thrice to Donald Trump. Will these talks lead to a ceasefire in West Asia or will it escalate the fighting? And what does Donald Trump's cabinet look like? He's made more appointments. We'll tell you who made the cut and who did not. In Bangladesh, more protests against Sheikh Hasina. Dhaka is moving Interpol to arrest the ousted Prime Minister.